And mega, 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 mwah, 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 mwah. Love shout out to everyone. Ayan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and magandang umaga, tanghali, gabi. Konbanwa to everyone. O, diba? Ayan, another Saturday night live stream today, and we are going to talk about choosing and finding love in the year 2023 because it's February. So it's all about love, in a different kind of love. Because every year there's only two or twice, I would say, that, when it's kind of like, like all over, in general, everyone is celebrating love, not just personally, but in general, is Christmas and Valentine's, which is February. But every February, it's all about finding the right partner or the perfect partner for you because there's nothing perfect in this world. I so to all the perfectionists out there, I'm just saying there's really nothing perfect, I think, If you reach that perfectness according to Jervy. Ayan. Pati si Jervy nasali sa kwento ko, 'di ba? Ayan. So, it's kind of like, I don't know, life in general. You'll just have to learn. And lately, this is the thing that I've been like thinking about because, I've been talking about, what's kind of like, I don't even remember where did I started thinking about this. Hold on, guys. I'm looking for something. I feel like when I don't wear it, I feel like it's not the perfect stream. But whatever. I don't know where I put it. But, that's what I'm saying. So, in general life, it's almost like, I've been thinking about this and I don't know if I started thinking or like kind of like mess around with the thought. Because, I don't like perceiving or like trying to put out there that I'm too, how do you call that? When you started talking so deep, like you feel like you're so deep, you talk about life in general. Sometimes there's like a cringeness to it. But I'm just saying, like, I think it's Westworld. When I watched the Westworld, I started to think what is really the purpose of life, you know? And the thing is, lately I've been dealing, well, when you say something like you've been dealing, it seems so very negative, but it's not a negative thing. So I'm trying to like deal with the thought of like it seems like the world is they're so into your own life that you kind of it just feels like sometimes you doesn't want to be corrected, like when you kind of learn something and through experiences and through whatever things that you're watching or following, it seems like a lot of people doesn't use this kind of information in a way that it would make their life better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, guys? Oh, diba? Ang deep ko na naman. Hi there! Oh, 100% true. Hi, hi, hello. How about you, 100% true? How are you going to choose and find love? Although I don't know if you're, because according to the last conversations we had, you're not really like, if you're going to think about if you are in the time of you want to be settling down, it's not the right time right now. I think you've said that before. So I'm just thinking, if ever you're gonna find love, how are you going to find it, and how are you gonna make your choices with it? Why do they do that? What? Okay, correct. What does that mean? I didn't get the question is, Ayan. So, admin of course, and of course BFF Rian. So, 'di ba nakalimutan ko, nagyaw-yaw kagad ako. But guys, if some of you, if you are an English speaker viewer, ayan, from time to time I'll talk some Tagalog or maybe some Japanese from time to time, but it doesn't mean we're going to stick in English so everyone can actually relate on what I'm talking about, so you can actually feel like, so I wouldn't feel that I'm so weird about thinking about this stuff, because I just really love trying to understand different people's perspective, which it doesn't mean, because sometimes, oh, this is another one, but like, it's off topic. So I'd rather not go into that. O sabay ganun, di ba? Ayan, but, okay. So what are we talking about, guys? Ayan, how do you choose and find love in the year 2023 when everything seems to be like over exaggeration? O, di ba? I see. Okay. I heard a lot of great things about Philippines women. I think that would be my starting point when I look for love. Ooh, I like that thought. Oh, guys, do you hear that, my fellow Filipinas watching this? If ever you ever watch this, I am just to let you know there's one person who are open to look into that for love. Oh, diba? Ayan. It would be so, because sometimes, when it comes to like, like, especially now that I've been doing this video about, like, kind of like dealing with black culture, it does feels like that, black culture and Filipino culture. And I've heard this. I just don't remember where I've heard this, but it seems like when it comes to culture, like the background culture, it seems like they would complement each other in a way. So I don't know about it, because I never really had like the first interaction, the like first interaction in a black culture. Like, I don't really, like, I get the glimpse and pieces of the history and stuff like that. But when it comes to, when I'm trying to talk about culture, is their own culture, like how are they dealing with the just family culture, society, and of course, Felipe G. Oh, diba? Felipe. Mega, 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 mega love shout out. Oh, diba? Nick too. Mega love shout out to you. So that's what I'm thinking. It would be like, like I've known, well, personally, yeah, I've known personally some people that are married to a black person. So, like, it just feels like it's a really good, although, when it comes to finding love, this is what I think about. Oh, Mentionatics! Welcome back. I almost missed you. O, diba? Ay, bakit may ganito? May iba-iba na. Why is it like this? Kaloka. There's something like that kapag pinindot nyo, guys. 'Di ba? Hindi ko tuloy alam, hindi ko napansin. But Mentionatics, mega mega love shout out to you, and welcome back to Icy Fit live stream. O, 'di ba? Compliment each other. How? Tell me. I'm interested. Like, for example, and this is kind of like how I kind of like simplify, how I think cultures can complement each other. It's like Sherval Ayala. Thank you to all the people that liked already this live stream. Thank you so much. It does meant a lot to this channel. So thank you so much. And of course, good evening po host. And of course, Brett Glasso. I always like pronouncing your name. Brett Glasso. O, diba? Mega, mega love shout out to you, Brett. And February, keeping my perfect streak of no Valentines this lifetime. Don't say that, Felipe G. You'll find you're somebody. You'll just have to be not super choosy. This is the problem. This is, I think, one of the problems that some people actually have. And I feel like, like sometimes we become so choosy. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with that, like especially if you know exactly what you want, And the thing is, like back in the day, I felt like, like I get into these phases of like I'm trying to find a partner for me, but at the same time, because you were young, you kind of like shift back and forth of being like, maybe I'll just end up alone, something like that, because no one can satisfy what I really want in my partner or something. But Felipe G, let me know when your love is coming, diba? But all the positive love out for you, Felipe G. I hope you found her, diba? And thank you, Ayan Sherval and Mesha. Ayan, how are you? How am I? I'm good. I'm always good. You know what, guys? The thing is, one of the things that I really feel that making me get through the hard times, because hard times, struggle, problems, it's always in the corner. You can create one if you want, just saying. But at the same time, I feel like one of the things that getting me through is by laughing, and making it not such a big deal. And knowing that, whatever you're in, it's just for now. If you deal with it, then it'll be easier done. And then obviously you can move on, kind of thing. So laugh, guys. Smile. Right now, smile. Because when you smile, it's free. Plus, it relaxes your muscle, it stretches your muscle. Another thing that, according to Japan, when you smile and do the weird faces exercises on your face, you get to look young all the time. So, do that. I found love this year myself. Oh, diba? Exactly. Another perfect form of love is like self-love. It's important. I think that's one of the most important, like the level one, self-love. Because the thing is, as much as how corny it sounds like, if you don't know how to love yourself, how can you give love to other people? It's corny as it sounds like, but that's pretty much true. Real talk. So, going back to 100% true's question, compliment each other how? Tell me, I'm interested. So, fellow Filipinos, if you have any at all opinion about this, then let me know in the comments down below. Comment it down, and especially 100% true wants to know. So, as I've said earlier, one of the things that I feel that it would complement each other, and how I simplify the culture and who would complement something, or like who would be the same, they can get each other, is when it comes to family, you're close with your family. Like, you have an extended family. That's kind of like, I feel like one of the things that it's not going to be the foundation, but maybe it's closed if you kind of like explain it that way. But what I'm saying is like, it seems like that when it comes, if you grew up in a kind of like environment or community that kind of like gives value to not just your own family or the family you're creating, but like grandpa, lola, lolo, or something like that, or extended cousins, or like second, third, fourth cousin. If you are kind of in that, then you would complement each other. Because, like I've known some cultures that aren't like that, you know, but I wouldn't be sad about it because that's how they grew up in. They don't know how I grew up. So, that sometimes it would matter if you are choosing to find your wife or husband. Because at the same time, I think that's the foundation of how are you going to create your own family. You know what I'm saying? Ganon. So is that good enough answer? 100% true. Let me know. And of course, I see you there, anak ko, Christian. Christian Andulan. Ayan, Mami Icy, mega mega love shout out po. And good evening to you, Christian. How you doing? Ayan, o, diba? Kumusta ka? How about you, Christian? Is your heart happy? Ito si Christian, ang sarap kulitin ito sa singit talaga minsan. Kasi kalandilan ding bata, manang-mana sa mami. O, di ba? And of course, Madam Mary Rose and Nansky. Ayan, guys, Nansky TV is in the house. Ayan. And how are you doing? Anong nangyari sa date? May naganap bang date? Ayan, Madam Mary Rose. And whoever of you guys dated this, like February is like what? Tuesday. It was Tuesday, right? So I know it's weekdays, but who are you guys got lucky, and if you're single, got lucky and get to have sexy time? And how about you, the other ones, the marriage, have relationships? Did you have something special? Let me know in the comments and the live chat right now. I want to know. I want to know what's different. How about you, madam? Is your heart happy? Oh my god. I'm Don't ask like that because it's gonna be my story now, di ba? Pag tinatanong niyo ako ng ganyan, mapapahaba yung istorya natin, di ba? Ma-off topic tayo niyan. No, bahay lang. Uy, wag niyong nilalang ang bahay. Okay, so let's start with this. Home. When it comes to home, some people would find a partner that, I've known I've known people that kind of like they want to be married, but they'd rather not spend too much time with each other. Do you get that? So it just feels to me sometimes like, in Japan, there's this culture of most husbands doesn't want to come home because they don't feel like it's home. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't feel comfortable or they don't feel like they can relax. And sometimes I feel like is that how they avoid their partner? But there's a huge culture of that rather than going home, they'd rather spend their time in the park and then get home when it's too late. There's factors behind those kind of behaviors, but I'm not gonna go through that. But there's a culture like that. And the thing is, when it comes to me, like sometimes, I would want to have a night party out, or I would, like I would miss hanging out or going outside or going something. But usually when I'm tired, I just really want to come home and just spend time at home. So sometimes it feels like if you're going to choose and find a partner for you, maybe I guess it depends on what kind of character do you have, but I just really feel like depending on your character, you have to choose someone that would create a home that you'd want to come home every day. You would want to spend time most of the time, something like that. Ayan. So, if you're asking, is my heart happy? Definitely. There's a saying, ano ba yun? Yung kapag katapos ninyong mag-away, parang ganon. Like if you go through a problems in the relationship, it's better. Ano, love is better the next time around or something like that. Kaya ako, masayang masaya. I'm really happy. I really, really am happy. I feel like, when there's things that sometimes you try to kind of like change in a way or something like, hindrances in life, sometimes it happens, bumps, little bumps, but I just really feel that, whatever kind of like that, it just really feel my heart is really, really happy. Like I'm complete kind of thing. Ah, di ba? Kayo naman, no? Thank you for asking. Di ba? May pa ganon. Every day is Valentine's Day. Exactly. If you have kind of like that kind of home, if you found and get the right choice to find a partner for you, every day could be a Valentine Day. But don't be too not realistic. There will always going to be some bumps or like sometimes, you're gonna get to disagreeing on something or disagreements on something. But if you have a good conversation and you trust each other, you care for each other, I think that's where the relationship would actually really going to work. So yes, that's true. Oh, natawa si Madam Mary Rose. Bakit ka natawa? Na-miss ko yun. Ayan. True. But, since you're there, Madam Mary Rose, I know you and Ansky are really, really in love with each other for many, 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 many years. How can you, like, if it's on your own words and your advice, what is your advice to people who are choosing and finding love in the year 2023 and onwards, maybe? So, what advices can you give, guys? Especially now, technology is there. There's actually a debate where is technology helping people to have relationships or good relationships, or is it a good or bad thing? Something of a debate like that. And like there's a lot of points. And the thing when it comes to like getting information on the internet, you have to be very, very careful sometimes, because it's basically personalized. Everything right now is personalized. When you're trying to research on something, that would be feeded to you, whether you know it or not. Unless you're a very, very genius on internet, then probably you're going to be exempted with all of that. But as a normal, average human being, just know there's always two sides of the story or points. There's good and there's bad. It's just how you're going to take that into your life, into your choices, into your decisions. Since you're also in a relationship, don't you also have advice for us? Ayan. And earlier I asked Madame Mary Rose Hagas if she has any advice for you people that is still looking your partner. She says, find a person who will accept you, who will accept who you are. And I want to explore that one, because a lot of misinformation, a lot of misinterpretation comes in that word, in that statement, I mean. And Madam Waila, me, isa pang in love, babot masaya-masaya ang puso. Ayan, mega, mega love shout out. Mwah, to you, Madam Waila, me. Diba? So, and to answer this question, and guys, I love it. You're asking me questions for real. I do like that. But so my advice, gayahin niyo ako, charot. May ba ganun? Hindi. For real, my advice for a lot of people who, especially, for the past year, I've kind of like dealt with some soul searching again, and like trying to like really look and reflect on my life. My advice is the same thing as Madame Mary Rose says: find someone who will accept you for who you are. But as I've said, you have to understand, guys, that relationships takes a lot of work. Or let me correct that. Marriage is a lot of work. There's a lot of people out there that has this thought that once you get married, everything is done. You know, you started to do things that you've never done when you were just living together or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Things would come out. And the thing is, if you don't have the acceptance, especially just not acceptance of your partner, but the acceptance of who you are for yourself. Like, if you don't accept who you are, then your partner wouldn't understand you because you yourself is in denial. So, my advice is before you get to choose and find your partner or someone, especially into marriage, if you ever going to marriage, well, there's an old saying in the Philippines, you really have to think about it 100 times. But usually, realistically, you don't. Some people cannot think like that. But once you get into marriage, once you get to find someone that you really think would be the perfect fit for you, remember it takes a lot of work. Marriage, it doesn't start there. It's where it's beginning and it never ends. So make sure that when you found someone, make sure that you accept the flaws first. You have to so if you're the one if you yourself, make sure show all your flaws, show all your bad characteristics, and if that person still accepts you for who you are, then you got the perfect. I can't take this seriously, isn't it? But I'm talking about, guys. But if you want to make me take it and explain it more seriously, then I would be gladly do that if you ask. Okay. And of course, Mary Rose from 100% True. What if you're insufficient in your current self? What if you're a loser? Should they still accept you for who you are? That's actually a good question. Let's see if. And Mary Rose answered, think your future life. Ask yourself, kaya ko bang makasama siya kahit maghirap kami? Ayan. So basically, 100%. This is, like one of the things she said as well. Think about of you in the future. Do can you, can you be with someone that even though you're in the lowest point of your life, she or he would still be there, you know? Like in the saying, for what's the vow? Poorer or richer kind of thing. Yeah. And can you choose that person over and over and over again till the end of whoever's life? Can you choose her over and over and over again? Like that. That's what she said. And another one, she says, no one is a loser. It's how you love and accept the real you. Beautiful. Very, very much well said. Show all your negative side. Diba kasi kung mahal ka, mahal ka. Exactly. Diba? That's what I'm saying, guys. Sometimes you don't know there are a lot of people. And this is how I'm kind of like, and the thing is, after all, feeling mo matanda, and after all that I've been went through, diba? May pag ganun. Ang arte lang eh. But, after the things I've experienced with love, relationships, experiences, observations, I do really feel like, you have to really show your negative side. Kala mo seryoso na, biglang tarong. No, but the thing is, you cannot really, some people cannot, like control how are they going to feel at somebody. Parang bumababa yung ano ko. Saglit lang guys. Hold on. I think my camera is switching a lot. So let me just do this quickly. Okay, everything is good. Sorry for that, guys. My camera almost tipped off, so I have to kind of like. Anyways, let's read about this, Ayan. 100% true said, Mary Rose Haggis, show all your bad side, but but I can be little dark when pushed. Maybe if I taught my partner not to press my button, then she would never have to see that side. So, this is one thing to explain the thing that I'm trying to say earlier before my camera almost flips off, right? So, Servo Survivor, mega love shout out to you, Servo. Ayan. So, there's something going on with it, like the settings and stuff. I should have known that, but I hope everything is good. Ayan. So, what I'm saying, guys, is this is the thing about relationships, right? When you say something like accept a person for who they are, and that person on the other end would have to have the thinking or the thought process of like, well, this is my dark side. So you have to accept it whether you liked it or not. It's not that, and that's the thing that I'm telling. That statement seems to be out of like, it's so out of control. The meaning of it is very much exploited or exploited talaga. But I'm saying is everyone has some dark sides, it just depends on what kind of level it is. But you as a person, at least this is what I'm saying when it comes to your purpose in life. Everyone, I don't know if you want to be a good person or I don't know, but I bet you all of you want to have a better life. And sometimes better life means better choices. And sometimes if you have an attitude, if you have a character, you kind of like shy away the people, the opportunity, because I don't think anyone that's in a good side of life would want to do something with you who are kind of like negative or kind of like super down and stuff like that. I do believe that sometimes those energy, you feel that. So, if your life is not going the way you want it to be, then something that you're doing or something of your choices in life, you're not doing enough to put you where you want to be. There's something in there. And that's why I always wanted to push the word self awareness, because you have to be self aware, because sometimes you don't even know you're doing things unless you're aware or someone makes you aware and not scared to tell you the truth, stuff like that. And if some is being a piece of shit, I love that word. by the way. I've always said that, but I couldn't say that all the time. Ayan. That's not okay for them to just be like, it's a bad part of me. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. At least in my opinion, and I really do hope and have faith that a lot of people in this world have the same purpose or have the same feeling. All of us wants to be so-called good person. All of us at the end of the day wanted to make a difference in our own way. Wanted, you wanted to be remembered as not as, like that piece of shit human being or something like that, right? So, in order to do that, you have to better yourself. And some things, if you know, this is very simple. And I think this is so simple that a lot of people doesn't have, especially with couples, with, relationship doesn't have, is that sometimes, ano nga ulit yung nasa utak ko? Charot. Ayan. Nawala. Bigla nawala eh, no? Ang dami sa umaandar eh. Charot. So sometimes I just really feel like, when it comes to being a couple, you are not trying to better yourself as your own, you know? You're not trying to find ways to change things that wouldn't help the relationship. You know it doesn't help. You know it does affect badly on your partner. But because you are so into, well, she or he has to accept me for that. Even though if you change that, even just a little bit, turn it down or even a little bit, then both of you benefit. Then you become a good person. Then it would go on more and more. That's just what I think it is. I see. Are you saying that they should hide the reality of who they are until it's too late for the other person? Huh? See, this is the thing, the over exaggerated, kind of like you're explaining something, but you think of it as an over exaggeratedly, what if? This is the things or the conversations or the discussions that I really feel like, did I say that? It's like, nah, being an asshole is more fun. But the thing is, like, because there's, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Servo, but, when it comes to being an asshole, I think in how my perspective of it is, there's an asshole where it's playful, it's full of humor, and they're just being men who are kind of like cold, don't give a shit, stuff like that asshole. But in the inside, they're really good people. And then they're assholes, the douches, the douchebags. You know what I'm saying? Am I correct? There's like two kind of like meaning for it for me. And I think, sometimes I could be an asshole, I think. Each of us has our dark sides. It's up to us how we control it. Well said, Madame Mary Rose. That's what I'm saying. There's always going to be a bad side of us. It's how much of it completes us as a person. Is it like 70% bad and 30% good? Then that's not good. Like, or is it 10% bad that I have to get or take and then 90% is good? Stuff like that. It has to be something like that because not everyone can be like, you found somebody and like, agree, disagree, it's up to you guys. But sometimes, can you find someone, or you've ever had in your entire lifetime, find someone that are just really, really innocent, pure, and they're so positive and they cannot think of any bad thing? Have you ever met someone like that? And like bless their heart, like I love them if they really felt that way. Like it's really nice. But sometimes it becomes so cringy to me. Because what's wrong with that? That's how I kind of view the world. There's really nothing good. There's always going to be a bad side. It's always going to be kind of like, it's just the outcome of it, you know. What if he's a nice guy? Then both of you got robbed and you discover that being nice is all he knows. He can't be an asshole to the robbers, meaning he can't be a protector. Well, that calls, if that happens, that dude is not a dude. I think, okay, let me say this. You know, when I was like dating back in the day, there's this, I think I've said, I don't know if I already told this story to you guys, but this is one of the greatest stories of my dating life, if you want to get a glimpse of it. So there's this, like, it's multiple times happened to me, but I would date someone that are really, really, like, I really am into this person. He's so handsome, he has the body, everything. And then, okay, I'm going to tell you one story of one incident. Okay, story time, guys, story time. Since it's all about choosing and finding love, right? So, at an early age of dating, diba? I dated super early anyways. So, when it comes to that, so I found these people, and there's this just one story out of many stories I have, but there's one story. So I'm really into this guy. Like, he's really handsome, like, like super handsome. And I am really, really wanting to be his girlfriend. And then so we go to a club downtown Tokyo where, it's kind of like a place where a lot of, like shady people go, like stuff like that. And there's a lot of Yankee back in the day. That's what you call, like, street gangs or street people, something like that. So we kind of pass that. And the first thing he does when he saw these people going and walking in our way, he goes to the left, like he left me and kind of avoid going past through these people without even telling me that he's going the other way around. So I'm walking past through these people while he walks far away from there. That's how, And he is I told you guys, he's a nice guy, handsome, everything. But it's not telling that he is a nice guy. I think he's just coward. Being coward, having self confidence, and trying to, like, stuff like that. It's just different for me. So it doesn't matter how handsome are you, how rich you are, or whatever qualities you have. If you're a coward, that's not a man for me, I think. But sometimes I don't want things to be overblown when I said coward, meaning war freak. Like, everyone fight. I'm gonna fight you. I don't want that guy too. I want a very, very manly approach to things. Like, they know when to act. They know when to just back out. They know they're so smart in doing things. So, those guys, pretty rare, but I have one. Diba? The good kind will push your buttons and mess with ya, but overall would try to help you. The bad kind are always mean and don't care. And that's what I'm saying. When you care for someone, really, really care, and you want that person to just do good things in their own life, even if with or without you, you know, that is what you should look for a partner, because not everyone have that. Most of us, and just, this is just realistically speaking, everyone uses everyone. But if you have a partner, or if you found someone who do that to you without saying the word, you just know they do, because they're not jealous, they're not insecure, they're so stable of what they're into your life, and they will push you. They will criticize you, they'll push your buttons, they'll mess with you just so you can reach whatever you want in life. That's a good catch right there. So don't let them go away, get away, or whatever. Ayan. Maybe he cared for his life or he's a coward too. Exactly. Because also, in defense of men, sometimes, as I've said earlier, true man for me knows when to fight, how to fight, and when to not fight. So there's those kind of like different sides, like, because when you say not, or when you say coward, some men would probably say, I'm not coward, and then started fighting everyone. Well, that's kind of like ego boosting, you know? So, sometimes there are guys who wouldn't go into fights or who wouldn't go into these lengths of macho image because they are just smart, so they're not coward, but it's case by case scenario. And I see, what if the assholes are the actual brave ones? The thing is, as I've said earlier, for me, assholes, yeah, and also like Servo says it is, yeah, there is good and bad assholes. And the thing is that what I'm saying, when it comes to asshole, there's two meaning for it for me. The one asshole is like the typical, no, I wouldn't say typical because what's the word? Okay, let's just say it is a man who's basically kind of cold. When you look at your aunts or like grandpa, sometimes they'll be like, don't talk to me. Some type of like that. Like they don't want to be bothered by anyone type of asshole. And they would, say say like probably super humorous, sarcasm filled statement, but deep inside, they're really sensitive, they're really soft. Those people. There's the asshole, the other asshole of kind of what I'm thinking about. And then there is this asshole, which the meaning of is like the real kind of like douchey, superficial, and stuff like that. That's not being a nice guy. That's just him being inconsiderate and thinking of himself first. Okay, I missed that, Felipe. Which part of what I said is that? Ayan. And you're a lucky woman, boss. You find a good man. Yes, I think so. So I'm going to behave now. But those are the things that sometimes you have to go through life to understand more and more of yourself, because I don't think, if somebody, and this is one of the things that I just really feel that sometimes it just makes me like sigh real, real, real deep. Because sometimes it just feels like there are still people that just because of their age, their experiences, they would think they have it all, they've done it all, they know it all, and you can't do anything about it. And the thing is, I feel like that's why I love conversations. Because, conversations is how you know someone, words, how they use words, how they say something. That's how you can understand or at least comprehend other people's thoughts. Because you'll be surprised of how your thought is different from mine. Things that you could think of that I probably wouldn't think of in a certain situations. And that's why I love conversations. And I just feel like everyone, when it comes to conversation or discussion, everyone wants to be right. And the thing is, what if there's no right and what if there's no wrong? Especially on certain topics, It's like sometimes you overblown whatever discussion you want just because you want everyone to agree with you. Just because you want to feel like you know it all. And I feel like some part of me feels sorry and some part of me wanted to reach that self awareness that I wouldn't end up like that because the learning is really, really nice. I feel like it makes me a better person every day. It makes me, reach those happiness that I'm pretty sure everyone wants to have. And, like trying to like as life, life is a whole bubble of bothersome. So, but at least I would sneak in some reflections and, like what can I do to make my life happier? How am I gonna, like change my mental, you know, like mindset on things so I wouldn't feel in a certain way. Those are the things that I really had so much passion to teach or at least share to every one of you because I really feel like I'm good. There are certain instances, and I'm not saying this, and don't exaggerate what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, like happiness is really, really nice, but it doesn't mean there's nothing sadness that comes with it. It's a learning process. The thing is, I feel like, I am getting there towards the end goal. But obviously, I just really feel there's really no end goal because there's nothing perfect. But I feel like if there's going to be like, like if my end is coming, I'm not going to regret or I'm not going to say something like, I hope I did this, I hope I did that, because I feel like I did things my way. Like I really tried my best to be a better person, not just for me alone, but for people one that I care for. And the happiness I'm feeling right now, I want to share that to you guys. Like if I can reach these, definitely you can. Stuff like that. Okay. I'm so, 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 so emotional now na. Oh, diba? Ayan. But I see some people love debates. Maybe you should sharpen your talking skills instead of saying that they are trying to be right. Because this is the thing, especially now that, like everyone has their own opinion on everything. And I've been thinking about this lately, especially, I've been doing react videos. If you guys didn't notice, and if you guys are watching this, please check them out and let me know. And if also you guys wanted me, like if you watch something, and then you thought of me out of nowhere that I might try to like have a different take on it, or you at least feel like, it would be interesting for me, send that to me, DM me, PM me the video, and it'll be my pleasure to react on those things. But we're going back to these debates. I love debates also. But the thing is, that's why I'm trying to explain. There's a debate, but a debate is like pros and cons, good and bad. At the end of the day, it's almost like, and like, how do you call that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically presenting to people what are the cons and pros and what are the stuff like that. But there are certain people who would say things just so throw you off. You've seen this in a lot of communication and conversation. Sometimes there's one point. Where did you go last night? You know, let's just say it's like that. No, but some people wanted to make it longer, and rather than answer the question, would swirl around, throwing big words just to, like portray they're so intelligent and smart and they know what they're talking about. you know they want to be right. And those are the conversations, like what is real and what is because you're doing this for your ego. Those are the conversation that sometimes, even in like social media, you would see a lot of people would take into a certain movement or certain, opinions, because everyone can have their opinions, and it's good. It's a good opinion, but at least for me, if you're going to give out your opinion on public, know that not everyone would agree with you. And if they don't agree with you, present them with information that you have. And if they don't still agree with you, then let's just agree to disagree. You know? So, how would you react when challenged? If you back down, wouldn't that make you look weak? Exactly the point. Your question is exactly my point. Ego boosting. My conversation, I want information out. I want perspective. I want thought. Debate is all about that. They're showing you. That's why there's debates, pros and cons. They're telling you informations. Get through that information. But like it's not being weak or being strong and you're right and wrong. And that's one of the things that I just really, really feel like, like deep sigh. There's no conversations anymore. There's no discussions anymore. It's all about I'm right, you're wrong. Well, the thing is, we don't grow up the same way. We all have different culture. We all have different backgrounds. So what I'm saying is if you have if you don't know how to communicate, if you don't know how to take something in and you want someone to take whatever your words is, that doesn't go that way. Still here and Brett Glasso, thank you, thank you. O, di ba? Parang ang dami kong sermon, guys. Ayan, don't be too serious, guys. Sometimes when I get to serious stuff, then I get super serious. And that's the thing that I'm trying to balance out. Because I don't want it to be too serious, okay? Because I could be really, 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 really deep. But anyways, guys, I am before you go anywhere, let's try to have a quick break and try to figure out the next or like in this life, where do you think you can find love in year 2023? So that's the question. Let me know your answer. Think about it. And if you have any questions, tips or whatever, any questions at all, let me know that. Do that on live chat. And for people who watch this on replay, do that in the comments down below. But I'm not going anywhere. Stay tuned. We're going back. Let's just try to have a quick break. So everyone who wants to drink water, get anything on their fridge, do that as well. And I'll be back. So please watch this. And before we continue, guys, please make sure to know that I'm still looking for Mr. February. Our challenge for the month is going to be on the live chat. Nightbot, I'll drop. Nightbot will drop its link for our February challenge. So if you want to be part of it, if you want to join it, please watch this video, how to start training, so you know what are the qualifications and what are the things you need to do, and send me your videos. Ayan. So thank you for that. And it'll be back to moi. Yes, guys. Ayan. So I'm gonna pin this in the live chat, guys. So if you want to join our very much February challenge for this month, click that link, send me your videos while doing that. And there's other three qualifications. If you don't know that, please do watch the video, How to Start Training. Ayan, January edition. Ayan. And I wish I find the right one for me there in Japan this 2023. Ooh, o, diba? Guys. I hope so too. I really wish my admin find the perfect guy for her. For her, guys. Okay. Ayan. So I see, unfortunately, some people are stimulated by fierce debates. If you see them as wanting to look smart, maybe you should also look in the mirror and stop wanting to appear like an angel. Ooh, spicy. Yes. And I'm one of those people. Like, I remember back in the day, I would always, like, debate on this stuff. Like, especially if I know they're saying is bullshit. I always, like, I call out a lot of people and I call it as bullshit as I know it is, because that's what I know. But at the same time, there's a thin line for me now where I usually don't give a shit when the topic is something that I know through experiences is not going to be worth my time. You know what I'm saying? So, especially lately, there are a lot of things that back in the day I would argue about. I would debate about it. Like, I would convince the other person that they were wrong. But at the same time, knowing there's a lot of factors, and the thing is, it's not really my problem. You present a situation, you present an opinion, you present a topic to some people, or you'll tell your opinion. Not everyone would agree with you, because there's always going to be someone who would want to be right. And the thing is, I don't want to be that person. I want to be a person. And that's what I'm saying. You need to know, what do you want? And I want to be a better person where I know, like, it doesn't matter what is right and what is wrong in a debate. What matters is you put the information out there. You have a discussion, and that's how whoever people who's hearing it, would understand and know what are the things that they can apply with their life. It's either on the other side or on the other side. And that for me is how I stand with it. It's not about acting. It's just not really not caring about people that I know for, so many experiences. And the thing is, I would try. I would try to have a debate. I would try. But if it's something that it's either me agreeing with them in the end, because I don't really give a shit about, agreeing with something that I think they have a point in, as long as it's really, really, like, informative, and it's really, really kind of like, oh, I didn't thought about that and I did understand the point, then I'm not afraid to, like, say that I was wrong. Because as a personal trainer, you have to understand, like being a personal trainer in the fitness industry, there's a lot of changes that can happen in a month. The exercises that you've been doing for a long time can instantly be said that this is not good for your body. And I understand how to know to be wrong. And you have to treat it as wrong because it is wrong. It was debunked. And then you have to explain that to your customers that you've been doing this wrong. So those are the things that I've learned throughout the years that I'm trying to like do in my life. It's not about, who's right, who's wrong, and ego thingy. Ego is something good. Something really, really, it feels good. It seems like a drug that you just really want to feel, especially if it's feed on. But at the same time, there's going to be like in any kind of scenario, if it's too much, it is not good. you know Ayan. Icy, please ask admin why she's avoiding Filipino men. Oh, bakit mo daw inaayawan ng mga Pilipino? O, diba? Exaggerated siya. Listening here on the side, doing some editing. Oh, editing work mode ka na ulit. Thank you, Madam Mary Rose. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate those people who are listening to this right now. I do appreciate all of you. Like, so if ever you wanted to kind of like, there's anything at all that triggers you in the conversation that you want your opinion across, but you don't want it to be, like you can always connect with me on my social media, guys. It's all in the description links down below. And if you're not subscribed, still subscribe. And if you're still watching this, yeah, thank you. And, that's all. Discussion or debate doesn't mean you're right and he's wrong. Diba? Tama ko, Madam Mary Rose. Sabay ganon. That's why sometimes lately, I've been so, like, how do you call that? Like, I've been so anal, about like trying to figure out words. Like that sometimes I feel like I'm doubting the words that is coming out of my mouth because I think too much about it. You know, I have bad experience of Filipino men. Oh, diba? Icy doesn't date Japanese men and admin doesn't date Filipino men. What's well, my admin says he doesn't. He she does she didn't say that she's not dating Filipino men. She just had bad experiences with Filipino men. And the thing is, this is a great way to open this conversation. What's wrong with not dating your own kind? What's wrong with choosing and finding love in different country, different culture? I know there's a lot of you out there that would tell me millions and definitely one point that I'm definitely thinking in my head right now that you're gonna say. But really, why would you care about it? Like really. Like, are we talking about, like society as a whole? Or are we talking about, as a person? You know, I've never been in White Woman. So, Servo, can I ask you? Ayan. Okay. Why did you delete that comment, admin? But anyways, what I'm saying is, so can I ask you, like, what countries have oh, diba? Countries. So, Servo, what is it? Like, what are you into then? Like, if you have a preference, what is your preference? Guys, for you to find and choose or whatever, you find a partner, what's your preference? I want to know. Leave comments down below. I want to know what are you guys' preferences. And if you can further it out, why did you think it's what you like? If you have stories to tell, let me know that in the comments down below. Been into, oops. What's the oops? Okay, fit geeky woman. Ooh, geeky. How geeky are we talking about, Servo? Like how geeky? Because there's different levels of geeky. And there's nothing wrong. Honestly speaking, I'm sick of South African black women. Jesus, I'm done with them. And sa ngayon, gusto ko lang naman malaman kung pwede ako mahalin ng mga taga-ibang bansa. So this is another thing. Curiosity. You know, being a human being, you're curious about a lot of things. And I think, you know, like if you have that option, if you see that options always around you, why can't you? And that's about life. That's why making choices, getting decisions, better choices, it all comes down into that, you know, because there's options. But if you're not going to play with your options and then choose and decide, then that's your problem. My preference are thick women or fitness women who don't wear makeup and who look good. There are a lot of there's a lot of people out there like that, you know. And the thing is, I think it also depends on the culture and stuff like that. Like, you know, ethnic. Bleh. Why my mouth, my tongue, guys. Ethnicity. What's wrong with my mouth? I can't pronounce ethnicity. Ethnicity doesn't matter, but I'm more in ethnicities outside of my own for sure. And I've said this before. It's like if you have the options, and I know there are some people who would tell me, well, not everyone has options. I'm pretty sure you do. It's just you don't see them because you don't want to see them, you know? But the thing is, if you have those types of options, why would you not play with it? Why would you not take those? Why would you not try it out? And the thing is, sometimes when there's always going to be like that kind of story where, at least for me, when it comes to, that's why I, you know, like I've never dated Japanese men, is because I feel like I'm so outspoken and I want a person who's outspoken as well. And Japanese has a deep rooted culture of not into confrontations. And I love confrontations. You know? So that's one of the reasons. So I have to get outside of my ethnicity or my culture to find that person for me. Yeah. Like as geeky as possible, the more she's into comics, movies, cartoons, manga, anime, tech, electronics, the nerdy or geeky, she is the better to me, but has to be about that gym grind. Oh, you're describing me? Ang kapal ng mukha ko, guys. Diba? How do you view those who don't exercise their options? A waste. Because life is all about choices. That's why there's there. That's why they are there. You know, it's like if you don't know you have options, if you don't know you have, you know, like you have choices, then you'll just settle. Then you're not going to find what you're looking for because it's basically here you go, take it or leave it, you know, stuff like that. And that's what makes life more colorful, is because you get to, you know, like, that's why I told people, like, sometimes, you know, still put yourself into a safe zone, but at the same time, get out of your comfort zone from time to time. Because you wouldn't, It's almost like, when you're going to travel at some place, you don't want to be lost, right? But at the same time, when you get lost, you find things that you don't know that was there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think of it is. So, what do you think of those who are angry at those who choose the option to better their lives? Sorry for them. Okay, I have I have to be very very. Whew, okay, I have to take this seriously. Do you have to do you have to take this seriously? 100% true. Okay. Do you want the filtered one or do you want the not filtered? Very true, I see. Which part? Which part of this is the truth? Yeah, but like I think it's a waste. Personally, I think it's a waste. Because why would you not? It's like, and also like for those people who are angry, yeah, that truth I see. Okay, I'm gonna read again okay, the truth. Okay. So we'll do this because Felipe G says the truth will tell you the truth. Do you want me laughing, smiling, or serious? Anyways, but no. Okay, kidding aside, how do no, no, what do you think of those who are angry at those who chose the option to better their lives? I think one way to put it is like there's two ways. If you want to be angry at those people that basically doesn't want you to have a good life, then I would tell them they're jealous people because they cannot do what you can do, what you are exercising at, your options, because you want a better life. But at the same time, I also think of it as I feel sorry for them. Because, part of their anger just feels like to me is because they're angry at themselves, not at those people, but at themselves because they cannot do what you do. So sometimes I feel pity on those people because, like I don't know what are they doing in their life, what are they going through, but at the same time, if you want to better your life, you're gonna do everything in your power to be in that goal. But at the same time, if you that's the word we have in the Philippines, we call it crab mentality. It's those people. This is one of the toxic culture in the Philippines that are pretty known around us Filipinos. And I don't know if you have this toxic culture, one of the things in your own country, but it's where a lot of people will pull you down because they see you getting success. They see you happy. So they're angry at you. They're going to bash you, social media term or whatever. They're going to hate on you. You're going to have haters. So, yeah. But for me, when I was super young, you know, I think about that. Like, why are they angry at me? I didn't do anything. But when I get older, I'm more sympathizing on them because I don't really give a shit for one. Because the thing is, it's not my problem that they're jealous. But at the same time, well, I'm sorry for them because they cannot do what I do or something like that. So that's the truth. 100% true. Those versioner people are usually very pathetic individuals. See, that's one word, pathetic. I love saying that word. Another favorite word of mine, pathetic. Especially when some people irritate me or like cringe me out. Pathetic. I like it. I like that word. Yeah, dieting and fitness turned my life around, and a lot of my family did nothing but ridicule me the entire time and still do to this day. Why would they ridicule you? In what kind of, if you just want to share it, Servo, but it's up to you, so but if you want to share, my question is like how, like, you mean in your ways of your career, like being as a personal trainer, ridicule you, or is there anything else? Preach, Izzy, preach. 100% true. You should come to Japan or Philippines because that's where your partner could be. You have to visit that country. I am still here, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Sayu John. I know it's very early or it's late. It's late, probably super late, Ayan. And why aren't you uploading anything lately, Brad? Sounds like my ex. Which one did I say? Oh, the pulling you down. Yes, there's a lot. So that's another. So when we talk about choosing and finding, excuse me, choosing and finding love, how about red flags, diba? I think one of the red flags, no matter how nice you think they are, no matter how, like how much they can offer you, if you really want a loving, successful relationship or marriage, one of the red flags for me is being with someone that cannot see you happy when you have any achievement at all and is not going to be supportive of what you want to do in life, whether you just want to be the greatest janitress of all in the entire world, how matter small it is, if they ridicule you, if they, put you down, criticizing is one thing, but if they look down on you, run as fast as you can. Just run. Just forget you love them. Just run. For me, that's number one red flag. I might think of something else, but one of those, yes, definitely. You'll thank me for it. And yes, bringing you down to their level to make themselves feel better about not bettering themselves. Exactly. Very much well said. You said it better than I did, Felipe G. Yeah, guys, visit here in the Philippines, ayan. And especially, guys, if you want to visit Philippines and if you want to kind of like look at the island, ayan, contact my admin, guys, because she will tour you around. Not my personal training work, my fitness journey. They give me shit the whole way and still do. What do you mean that they would give you that? Like, you mean because you wanted to be looking healthier? I'm just trying to understand how are they going to ridicule that part? Or is it because prior to your fitness journey, then they ridicule you and that makes you have motivation to do this? So let me clarify that. What if, oh, BFF, thank you, BFF. And what if they are encouraging, but they are not sincere about it? Ooh, I like this. See, the thing with marriage, this is what I'm saying. When it comes to marriage, it's a lot of work because there are certain things that you have to compromise for the betterment of your marriage. For example, you don't like the career they're taking, but you married them. It's not like you give up that, we're married. It's way better to find someone where it doesn't matter if they agree on it or disagree, but they believe that you want to have that. And even if they are not sincere about, like believing on it or like The thing is, what they do matters. If they're supportive, meaning you're doing something, like they would do their thing, your partner would do her thing or his thing towards his or her goal. And when he or she slacks on something around the household or around the relationship, you pick up the pieces. That's a lot of support. That what matters. It's not about what you're feeling, but what you do in the relationship matters. You mean sacrifice. See, that's that's the thing with you. You'll come up with super exaggerated ones. Like sacrifice. It's not sacrifice if you think this is for the betterment of your relationship. I don't think you can see it as a negative of a sacrifice like that. It's you being a better person in that relationship, because you have to remember, in a relationship there's two people. It has to be you feel good about yourself, but at the same time you're responsible for the other person as well to feel good about themselves too. But it's not just up to you. That's why you have to feel good about yourself and you have to give it. And then the other person, if he or she can do that, that is happiness. That's what I'm saying. I think for me, it's all about that. Compromises. It doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree in one thing. It's what you think that will make the relationship better. You know, like there's always going to be like a limitations with its rules, because it's not like you don't want this, you don't want that, blah blah blah, and then you found someone that you fell in love with, but at the same time they're not exactly what you want for a wife or a husband. Then you started to compromise with yourself, but at the same time you have to understand, you cannot change a person. Whether you like it or not, it'll gonna bite you in the ass afterwards, because it's either the person that you're trying to change is going to be resentful of you, and the person who is trying to change another person wouldn't feel happy because it wouldn't be sincere. So ponder upon that. And do you think that it'll last for 20 years? And that's the real question. And that's why, like a lot of people in relationships and marriages are not successful, because it'll be tiring. There will be days, love could fade. Love would probably fade after so many years. Like you're not going to have that butterflies and stuff like that. So if you do have that, enjoy that. If you have that butterflies in your stomach, like really feel it in, because it's really precious. So the thing is, love can fade, but at the same time, if you have those foundations that we talked about, if you have those care for each other that I talked about, then it's all good. It will last. But that would be a lot of work from the both of you, not just one side, both of you. And that's why it's so rare to hear a successful marriage. My family are very stuck in their ways. My family thinks they're fat or in bad shape because of genes or just the way it is, but most of them live very unhealthy lifestyle with many bad habits. Ooh, I know what you're talking about, Servo. Yeah. And the thing is, that's one of the things that's how I started my YouTube channel, is trying to like kind of like share information, knowledge of things that I find that, helped me in my life, like educate me in my life. And I feel like these are the things, the basic things or basic knowledge that everyone should know. Because I'm not saying your family is uneducated. I think it's more of like self awareness. They're in this bubble of unrealistic, in denial, type of way. And the thing is, in the Philippines, we have that kind where, they would say food is life. That's why they cannot be healthy because, if you're not eating good food, which means it could differ which is good food for you, but they have this thought in the Philippines that if you're trying to like discipline yourself with things that you eat, you're not enjoying life. The exaggerations part. So I do get that now. Thank you for explaining, Servo. Stuck in there. Oh, what I meant. Yes. I get that part. So yeah. So there are questions actually, Ayan. In you educating people, aren't you afraid that some view you as try to be better? What? Someone would view me as, the thing is, you always ask this question. 100% you always ask questions like, am I not afraid or scared of people viewing me like this, like that, like that? I always answer these types of questions is with like, no. The thing is, I'm gonna lie if I said completely not. Of course, when you hear someone tells bad things about you, you'll feel that thing. But for me, on the mental side, on the mindset side, there are just people who cannot snap out of it. They would keep it and get angry and stressed and cannot function and stuff like that. With me, it's not important, and the thing is, some people, they really value what other people perceive of them. For me, I don't care. Because, like I'm not, first of all, I want information out. That's my goal. I want a good, nice conversation, discussion, my goal. So if I'm going to say something here, I know for a fact that not everyone would like it. Some would disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. That's why I don't care. If I say something like, like a lot of people would overblown whatever you say or edit something that you didn't say in that sense, but they would tell you, no, you said that. And they would twist your words. I know a lot of those people. And the thing is, I'm not for those. I want people who wants to open their minds on things. I want people who are open to kind of change, to better themselves, and if I can do that with them, we can share each other's experiences, perspective to better each other. What's wrong with that? And if other view it as like I'm trying to feel like I'm better than you, well, then you're in the wrong channel because I've always said that I don't like those types of people, and I don't want to be associated with that. I care about how people that matter to me see me. Mine is very, very small. The thing is, when it comes to my family as well, I think I just really am lucky that I have a good family because, like my family is so loving that they'll just accept who I am. And I think that's one of a Filipino culture. That's why we have like quotes like blood is thicker than water or something like that, because it doesn't matter whether you did bad or good. That's another culture in the Philippines. You're a family. We have to care for you, stuff like that. So when it comes to my family, as long as I know I'm doing good to them, I'm doing my best to be there for them, I don't really care what they think of me. Because if they're family, they'll just accept who I am. They'll tell me if I do bad shit. And it's up to me if I listen to them. And for me, if I really want to be a better person, then I would listen to them. And that's what I'm doing. But sometimes there are certain instances in the family you argue, you don't kind of like think the same way. And sometimes it gets out of hand, But for me, still don't give a shit because I know what I'm doing. If it's not good enough for anyone, I know I've done my best. If it's not good enough for you, I don't care. Why do you feel that way? Do you think that threat doesn't exist? What do you mean by that? You have to explain it more efficiently. Ayan. Day to day and internet randos, I could give a fuck about how those types see me. O, di ba? May pinaglalaban si 100%. Di ba? Ganyan naman yan. Ganyan naman talaga yan, Madam Wailami. Paglaruan lang. How would you handle a situation where your words are twisted and used against you? One of those things that I handle those, don't handle it at all because I feel like I'm wasting my time. And for me, my time is so precious. Like lately, I feel like I'm running out of time. So every time that I do needs to be like, I'm good. Like, like I did this, I did that. I'm good. So to kind of like, think about those people who twisted your words and trying to like tell them that it is not, trying to argue with those people. Nah, 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 nah. Because first of all, why you're twisting my words? What's your motive? Already there, red flag for me. You want me to be or viewed as a bad person or whatever. So why would I give shit about you? You know what I'm saying? Unless they're coming from a, like for example, in giving information and they're calling you out because some information that I said is not true and they're gonna present me with facts. They're gonna present me with points. Then I kind of like that. So I would actually stay on those kinds of conversations. But when you're just trolling or when you're just trying to kind of like make something out of nothing just to piss me off or just to piss somebody off, nah, I don't think you're worth my time. Madami talaga tanong yan eh. Kanina pa admin. Binabasa ko lang, wala lang nasagot. Ayan. But if you don't take action, your reputation will be ruined. Why not defend yourself? The thing is, has always been a take of mine. Is that especially later. It's like, let's see. Okay, in a smaller scale, right? In a smaller scale. Let's do smaller and the bigger one. Diba? Two. So in a smaller scale, let's just say you're in a town, you are with your group of friends, and then someone would like tell in your town that you are a slut or you're doing this and blah 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 blah. And it would kind of like, because it's a gossip, the motive is to ruin me. It will, and it's dramatic, which I mean, we know a lot of people wants drama. So it'll be all over the town, for example. Okay. So what I'm going to do in later days now, maybe before I will try to defend it. I will try to like argue with it. I'll even probably try to argue with a friend or something, which I've done a lot of many times. But at the same time, at the end, it's like, why would I defend myself if it's not true? And the thing is, it's more for me, I appreciate it more when these things happen and people don't jump into conclusions. That is what I want. That kind of community is what I want in a smaller scale. Now, in a big scale, if something that, like if I'm a celebrity or like something that would really ruin my entire life, I'll sue you. I'm more on a formal side of things. I like it clean and cut. Done and done. I don't linger. I'll deal with it. Stuff like that. And with the smaller scale earlier, the story about that, it's like, when these things happen, somebody will ruin you. I don't really just give a shit because I feel sorry for the person who's doing that. It just really shows me that you have no time for yourself, that you have actually, like, there's so much free time that she's probably super crazy in her own mind to post something like that to ruin me. Wow. What pathetic human being. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I don't have time to stalk anybody's profile page. And if you are stalking my profile page for the purpose of trying to find something to ruin me, that says something more you than me. So it's like, for me, I don't want to kind of like spend my energy on that. I'd rather spend my energy with people that appreciate me. And even if they're, like, even if they're a hater or something, if I felt that they have points on certain debate or opinions or whatever we were talking about, I'll be more gladly to talk to these people than with people that are super close minded and the only motive they have is to ruin you. I don't have time with those people. They don't trigger me. I don't give a shit about them for real. It's like, sorry for them because I'm happier than them, something like that. That's what I think. Why big scale? Why can't you be happy with one person? What? Are you asking the same questions, or am I misunderstanding your question 100% true? Reputation relies on what other people think, whether it's rational or irrational thought. It relies on other people's informed or ignorant opinions. Don't care about that. Oh, di ba? Bongga! Oh, I love me. Thank you. Thank you. That's from I love me, guys. So that's the thing. So it's the same thing with, like, if you have a partner that, like, I've seen this many, many times in, like, in other people's relationships, that sometimes, especially when I was like, like dating, younger days, I would always find it so funny, especially now looking back into it, that sometimes, like, for example, there's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and the boyfriend heard something that the girl did that is not cool to him. So rather than, like, trusting his girlfriend that she didn't do anything, especially if the girl is a really good girl. This is what I'm talking about. If it's kind of shady woman, I get that. But if you have like a girlfriend or a wife, let's say wife, that is a very, very good woman, and just because somebody says something that is bad and she did, and you didn't even look into it and you just instantly jump on what other people think rather than what do you think your actual wife actually did, and you trust her that she didn't do that. That's kind of like, no, you know like, if you're gonna find and choose a partner, make sure that person knows you well. Make sure that, like, you have that, loyal support, loyal whatever support, and that base of, like, your partner trusts you, stuff like that, so you don't feel weird or awkward or whatever, stuff like that. I really like say stuff like that lately, guys. I feel like I said that too much. That's called loyalty. Yeah, loyalty, but at the same time, just be careful on who are you giving it with, and make sure you know the consequences if you give it to someone that it is not deserving to give with, because sometimes it's so fairy tale. I give you my trust and my love and blah blah blah. And then something hits. Thing is, like you'll just have to be very, very, very careful on who you're giving it with and who you're trusting it with and stuff like that. Because sometimes, things happen. So, guys, what do you think? What do you think? So there's another questions here. So I wonder if you can actually interact with me and answer these questions. Okay, what are in your life, each and every one, what are the compromises that you can think of that you can do, especially on something that you really, really doesn't like, but you'll compromise on it for the betterment of your relationship, for the relationship that you wanted would be into fruition? What are the compromises that you can actually think of that you don't like the idea, but you can do it? How would you determine if someone is deserving? By their actions. And that's the thing. That's why actions, there's a quote. Again, action speaks louder than words because it's your actions. Words are very, very easy. It's what you do. It's what you, and that's the thing, like entitlement. That's why I talked about entitlement, is because it branches in this part, is because you have to work for something to deserve something. You know what I'm saying? So as a person, to know who are deserving, if is someone that is actually working on it. So I think that's my answer. I can date a girl without an education. Ooh, spicy opinion. Yeah, there's actually one thing that I was actually talking about this yesterday. What am I watching? There's something I was actually watching. I think it's about oh, so basically, guys, I never did college. I graduated high school, thank God. But I never had any college education, right? But I've always had this bitter taste, is that how you say it in English, about college student. Because they're all about, like sometimes there are these weird people that are just really superficial to me, and I don't like being, like related into, are people who name drop and people who always seems to be like, for whatever reason. Oh, I remember what we were watching. Okay. For whatever reason, if you meet them, the first thing they would tell you is where they graduated, what college course they have, as if that matters. And that kind of like had a bitter taste in my mouth when it comes to college students. And I feel like back in the day, I really feel that most of them are just really the bad assholes, the douches. Because if they know me, I feel like they would, because I'm half Filipino, which is one, third world country. And then second, I didn't had any college education. I feel like I'm going to be looked down upon. And I really hate that. I really don't like people that belittle other people because of their background, because of their culture, country, or whatever it is, especially being so loud about it. So yeah, um, so I don't know. I don't know why I did share that story. By the way, I forgot. Because 100% true says I can date a girl without an education. So it's for me. It's like I don't think education is one thing. I've always said this. That's why I'm so happy. My kid is in college, and it's a very, very like if you come from, a background where college education is such a very kind of like achievement to parents who have kids and stuff like that. It really feels so good. So, like education is really good. But if you're going to base your image of other people based on what are their educational background before knowing them, I don't like that. Because, you can be really, really book smart, but you're not street smart. And I'd probably rather be with a street smart than a book smart. You know what I'm saying? Because, at the end of the day, you want something, not everything like this. You want something interaction. It matters to them because they had to work hard to attain that qualification. Yeah, I can get that. Like I've spoken to a lot of people that sometimes I would call them out. Like I would tell them, you name drop too much. Or like, you tell that too much. We know, you don't have to boast or like I called many, many people like that. So they would always tell me that explanation, that explanation of how do you call that? Um, they would always say that explanation of they just want to let everybody know that they can do it so they can or something like that. But you see it as what it is. Wait, your kid is in college? He will be very, very soon. Yes, yes. I'm very, very like I had kids way, way early. So is your brain did that again? 100% true. So, anyways, guys. So hold on, guys. Let me just do a little quick break. I'll be back and then we're gonna kind of like sum it up. But don't go anywhere. I'll be back for a few. I'm just gonna do one thing. And Wapag, good evening, Wapag Wapag TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ayan. We're just gonna quick break. And I'm back. Wow, happy Valentine's to you. Wow, kumusta ang iyong Valentine at kumusta ang iyong puso? How are you? I'm good, thank you. Oh, diba? Ayan. Paano ka po ba? Diba? Anyways, ayan. Parang humaba. Ayan. So, how old are you? I'm 200 years old. Thank you very much. The question everyone always asking, but you will never know. May echo? Oh. Sorry guys. Sorry guys for that. Ayan. Sorry. Ayan, di ko alam. Jeez, I thought that you had your kids recently. There's a lot of things. As I've said, guys, I'm a very private person. So if I'm going to share something to you guys, that's pretty much it. Don't dig any further because I love keeping my privacy. And, you have to just kind of like respect each other's privacy, guys. I'm not also going to imply on you to give out your private stuff if you don't want, just share something that you feel like sharing. And, you can keep everything onto yourself when it comes to private because you have to keep some stuff private because it's easier like that. not easier like that, but it's more peaceful, you know. You see a there's multiple Icy's phase orange biting nails. What? Oh, I didn't read the whole emoji thing. There's multiple Icy's? What do you mean? What do you mean multiple Icy's? Oh, like me? Well, they're not girls, so I'm the only princess here, guys. That's why I'm like this, because I'm the princess and the queen of the house. So just so you know. And thank you guys to everyone saying like that. I appreciate that a lot, because sometimes I couldn't really hear myself or anything. So I see. How did you maintain your youthful look? By being happy, you know. Not having stress is one thing. And the thing is, a lot of people will tell me life is stressful. There's always stress. Of course, there is. Is what matters is how you're gonna control it. That's why there's a lot of programs, a lot of articles about it. Control your stress or stress relieving program, camping, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Happiness, having peace, knowing who I am, stuff like that. I think that's one of the things. Fitness, number one. Fitness is number one. I have fitness on my side. And those are the things. And just basically mentally. And that's why this channel is because, getting fit. It's just getting fit mentally, emotionally, trying to reach that is what I think what makes me youthful. I see. You're not being truthful. No, it is. I'm being truthful. I think it's part of it. Like, look at people who are very depressed. Like, just think about this for a second, guys. Like, close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Think of all those neighbors or family members that you can think of are bitter in life. They're always going to be one. Even in your own family, there's going to be one. Super bitter of what their life is. They're not happy with their life. They're miserable. Look at them, And I'm talking about average people, not people that can, do surgeries and whatever the fuck they're doing to be youthful. But I'm talking about average, normal human beings, okay? Look at them and look at those people that you find. Imagine those people that that has their shit together, that they're actually authentically happy. Look at those people and look how, like how they look. And I think that's pretty much it. It's almost like, like I feel like that's why Japan, Japanese old people, you'll be amazed sometime that you would look at them. And if you compare it to back in your country's old people, especially the age range, you'll be surprised that our 80, 90-year-old looks like 50 or 60-year-old in your country. That's pretty much what says about it is because they kind of like, for whatever culture they have, most of them are settled, but for me, being settled is not good enough, be like settling for whatever it is. But for them, that's life for them and they're happy with it. They're basically doing, like they walk every day. We do bike as our transportation. They care for their health. They eat properly. Most of them know the healthy eating balance in Japan. That's why every food we have here has its own nutrients. How much are they good for you, blah blah blah, and all of that. So a lot of us are way conscious on our health. And once you pay attention to your health, everything just follows. And the thing is, that's why, You have to understand, I'm not just telling you about, doing or starting your fitness journey or like doing my exercise and stuff like that just because I'm a personal trainer. I'm saying this because everyone needs to do it. We're not getting any younger. We're not. No, I don't. This is all me. What are you talking about? The beauty of my boss is all natural, no surgery. Yes, yes, yes. I didn't. They always tell me though I have no surgery. For whatever reason, they think my nose is it's almost like a compliment because you mean my nose is perfect. Yeah, that's what I say. But no, this is all me. Well, except I do have a makeup on today, but you know what I'm saying, guys? Do you think that you'll reach that age? Personally, because I know I have Filipino genes as well, which not pretty known for having like a longer life. But at the same time, I don't want to be so old that I would forget people and it runs in the family. And, as much as I wanted it to be, I want to be aware. So I don't know. I don't have really kind of like hopes of or like desire of when, and as long as I feel like, like, well, this is a different conversations to have. Maybe we do have conversation on this death thing when it's Halloween, guys. Remind me to talk about death in Halloween, okay? You should do a stream without makeup. Well, I actually did. Like when I'm out and about, like, because usually when I'm working, when I'm working or like working out, especially when I do work out lessons and stuff like normal, I don't wear makeup. So I do have those. I do have those live streams. It's IRL live stream, most of this stuff. I'm even eating, like you'll see me eating or something like that. Not that you didn't see me eating on camera, but yeah. Ayan. You have so much demands, 100% true. But guys, this is it for me. So if you have any more opinions about, like how to choose, and if you want to add something on this discussion, please let me know in the comments down below. And guys, thank you so much for your interaction with me tonight. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. Just know that, I'm not that showy, but, just letting you know because I just want you to know that. But, oyasumi nasai. Otsukare sama deshita. Ayan. And of course, I hope you found what you are looking for everyone out there. I wish you what I have. I wish you what I can get. And hopefully, all of us can actually make ourselves better, not just for ourselves, but for the person that we are going to choose when you decide who are you going to be with for the rest of your life. Ayan. And do you think that you look better without makeup? Well, I think that is in the eye of the beholder. For me, no. I don't feel like it. There are days I feel like I woke up, no washing faces, and then I look in the mirror and tell myself, oh, you're so cute. And then sometimes I would wake up, look in the mirror, and then, whoo, who are you? Or something like that. But, those are the days. It depends on the days. Hiniyote. I, at the same time, it depends on people, I think. But if you find me cute, and if you find me entertaining, if you find anything in my company that is nice, thank you so much. Let me know that in the comments down below. And plan on leaving Korea and going to teach in China. China? But I do plan on visiting the Philippines sometime soon. And thank you so much for all of your questions. So, every one of you guys, thank you. Ayan, di ko na kayo maisa-isa. But, ayan, Kasi mamaya 'pag may nakalimutan ako, magtampo naman kayo, baka nakalimutan ko kayo. But just know I love you all. Thank you so much. And please watch out. I'm gonna have an upload tomorrow. Please do watch that and do interact with me on that one. Sayonara, bye-bye! Dahil sa channel na ito, kayo ang gulo. Bida! Bye-bye guys! Love you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you. Bye-bye. Ciao.
Wow! Congratulations! Wow! Congratulations!